What's going on, everybody? We're back to working on this Murray, the one I was trying to get together for a coworker. Today came home to the carburetor coming in the mail. Just going to show you. It was like $12 and some odd cents. But you get we got the new primer for it, primer ball. There's the carb. Just got to take the old one off. Make sure it matches up. New plug. And what else we got? 2 new gaskets, new filter. And it was like less than $12.50. That's shipped to your house. So we'll get I'll get the old one off, and I'll get the old one off and we'll compare the two. Give me just a second and I'll get it off there. Here we go. So they look pretty much identical. Biggest thing you got to watch for, because I've almost ordered the wrong ones for them before, is your fuel inlet, making sure it's on the right size, or the right side of the carburetor, and up here where the spring and the rod hook up for the throttle, make sure it's the same design. But the bowls and everything looks to be identical, so try to get her hooked up. It comes with the new O-ring. It goes on the shaft in there. Make sure you replace that. Might as well, since it's brand new. And the new gasket, and also, I don't think it needs a new primer ball, but I'll go ahead and replace it too. And get this carb on there, and we'll go from there. I figure I might as well show you the rubber O-ring I was talking about. Since it comes with the kit, you might as well replace it, because I've had some of these I've worked on that was part of the problem with it. The whole problem was the O-ring didn't have it on it, or it was split. All it is right where the carburetor mounts at. It's right there. Just pops right off. And a helicopter in the background. Apologize for that. But let's see, back it out some so you can see it. It's just I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but the old one is, I can't really tell. I can't get a good angle on it, but the old one actually is just a little bit smaller than the new one. It's got some, like it shrunk some. So I'll go ahead and put the new one on it, just to make sure we got a good seal. It slides right on, just like that. Now you can feel the difference instantly having it on there. And you got your carb. Get in where you can see it. I'll show you the linkage. It's in there. And with this one, this style anyway, you only got the 2 screws. The one, I can't really get in it, but the one is actually behind this linkage right here. Well, it's the mount for the linkage. Actually sits below, just underneath it. So. But all this does is you got your hole right here. There it is. So you can just kind of pull it forward, and it just goes right through that little hole. You just don't want to pull too hard, so you don't want to bend anything. Nice snug fit, just like that. And it'll set right up on that tube for the intake of the fuel. Nice solid wood, fit a lot better than that other carb did. There we go. Just gonna make sure it's straight. And here's this kind of helps if your old filter, to hold the screws in place for you so you don't lose them. You just want to make sure you put each screw in its own groove. You get more than one screw in a groove, then it just will flop around and fall out. So we'll get the screws. These ones happen to be a 10 millimeter. That one went in smooth. Guy's saying the other one's just below it. Nice to have a magnet out here. Trying to make it as quick as I can. We're going to end up running out of daylight. You always get both of them started before I tighten either one of them down. You get them started, that way you know your carburetor is going on nice and straight. Can't remember what the foot-pound is on these. I know it's not much. Not much at all, because you got to figure just what you're screwing into is aluminum. So you just got to be careful. You don't want to strip it out. So we'll just get it to where it feels good. There we go. Should be good enough. Get the fuel line on it so it starts priming the bowl. And a lot of these, easiest way I can tell you to do it is like on this one. I had to prop the fuel line up because there's still a little bit of fuel in here. I didn't drain it out, which I should have done, so I wouldn't have to do that. So I just propped it up just behind the cover and it's kind of just like pinched in there just to hold it up so the fuel doesn't run out, because it'll go everywhere. So I just have to try to pop it on there as quick as I can, I reckon. And we'll let it start filling itself up. I already put the spark plug in. Now this mower, it split a little bit. Still got to get a blade for it. I'm pretty sure I have a brand new one actually down in the basement. So I'll have to double check and see if I got that, but at least we can see if this carb makes it run better. I'm hoping. If not, then it's just spare carb for something else. Okay. I'll back this out a little bit. So the carb is now mounted. Fuel line's hooked up. The rod and all that stuff's hooked up. So we're good on it. New O-ring seal. Now you have your primer ball is, this one's still good, but since I got a new one with it, I'm going to go ahead and replace it. These pop out pretty easy. All you have is this tab. Flip it over, you got a tab on the other side. Nothing to it. They usually pop straight out with a flathead screwdriver. It'll just be one of the times that, no, there it goes. There's the one. So all it does is when you push it in there, the plastic just pops out and locks it in place. So you just gotta get it started. Once you get them started, they usually come right loose. Be nice if you have a pipe cleaner. Which I am totally, yeah, see here, this one's already, it is actually which probably didn't affect it any, but you can see where the snap ring is actually cracked. But the ball itself's still good, so if I can still, the ring, if you had to use it, you could use it, but the primer ball is still good, so there's no sense in actually throwing it away. But anyway, if you had a pipe cleaner, real small, I know you can get them really small. I don't have anything I can put in. It'd be nice to be able to clean that shaft out, but because the screen that's down in it, you can. A lot of them, I don't know about this one, but some of them you can pop right out. It's just right down, and you can run it, blow it out with, if you have an air compressor with a blow tool, you can blow it out. But all my stuff's still packed up from over the winter, and so we'll get that put in. Just snaps right in. Just line it up where your holes are right there. And hopefully it fits. Yeah, we'll have to give her some help. Okay. Just want to be careful you don't rip the rubber. Unless they gave me the wrong size. I can't tell if it went or not. I don't know whose music it is in the background, but they can change at any time. So we might have to use the old one. Afraid I'm going to run out of daylight and not be able to finish this up. Yeah, I think it snapped in. Okay. Well, we'll give it a try. If not, then I'll just put the old one back in it, but I'm pretty sure it snapped in place. And you got your gasket that it came with, brand new. We'll get that in there. And you just have to watch your, it's got pinholes. The pin studs, I guess, for the holes, so you can line it up where it needs to be. It seems to be going pretty good. There we go. Then you got the three, well, in this one's case, you got 3 small screws that hold the cover on. And you don't want to forget about your tube here, where it has the nipple piece that sticks out the back, hooks onto this rubber elbow. So we'll get that on there. Everything should line straight up. So we got 2 screws on the carburetor, 1 on each side, and you got 1 up here in this bracket. All 3 of them's the same size, so you don't have to worry about, at least on this one, all 3 of them's the same size, so you don't have to worry about getting one in the wrong spot. These were, I believe they're 8mm. Hopefully this thing runs good after all this. And we'll pop off. Okay. And if all's going well, that bowl should be filled up. Hopefully, I'll have to check the fuel. I don't know actually how much gas is on it. Hopefully at least enough to get it to start. Alright, I'll get this stuff off the mower and get it set down and make sure she's got fuel in her, and we'll see if she'll start up. Alright, got the cover on, the new filter in, new spark plug, carburetor, new gaskets. Just put fresh fuel in it. I haven't primed it yet. Give her a couple cranks and see what happens without priming it. Hopefully the bowl's filled up. Give her a couple pumps. Mosquitoes are coming out until it's getting dark. Hopefully this works. Wait for the fence. Well, crap. I'm done with that tube. didn't check, which I should have, was the gap on that spark plug. Just to make sure it was gapped. Oh, here we go, here we go. So what we will do, if I can find it. There it is. We'll just go ahead and prime it out of curiosity, see if that spark plug. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just cheaping out and buying an aftermarket carburetor instead of, because it was not a Briggs & Stratton product. It's some knockoff. They usually work great, especially on the weed eaters. You throw them right on and never have a problem out of them. They usually fire right up. This one, I was hoping it'd be the same. Get a little bit of fuel in, or maybe that's all it is. Yeah, I hope. Hopefully she'll run like a champ. Any worse than to put the old plug in it. If it doesn't do anything, we'll see what happens then. It seems to be running. Just want to see. Maybe that plate needs, I was talking about where the primer is. Maybe that plate needs blowed out. It's not letting the primer ball do its job. Okay, because the hole itself is really, really tiny. So I'm sure it probably doesn't take much to clog it up. I've got to get this back on because it's all dirt from where we've been out here working on the fence and everything. I don't want to suck anything up in that carb. Alright, see if she'll fire back up. And I hope. Try priming it. The only thing I think is that hole's plugged. There's no way it's going to let fuel, get from the tank to the ball and then into the carb. Jesus. Alright, it's been a couple of days since I've had a chance to mess with this. But we did figure out what the problem was. The backing plate, we got it to where it's running great. For some reason the backing plate, this is where your air filter sits at, and your primer ball, and there's the new gasket. Even with the new gasket, new primer ball and everything in it, for some reason it just would not prime that new carburetor. So I had an old Craftsman. It's basically the same motor, 6 1/4 horse, Briggs & Stratton, but it's on a Craftsman deck. So we took this one off, and excuse me, took this one off of this mower, this old Murray, and took the one off the Craftsman sitting off to the side, tossed that one on it, and primed right up. This thing's running great now. Let's see if we can get her to, I want you to make a liar out of me. Yeah, you hear it squirting. The other plate, nothing. This one, it seems to be running great. Yep. Told you, make a liar out of me. Give it a couple more pumps. Watch if I ran all the gas out of it. Flooded it. There you go. Flooded it. And she's running good now. So since it was what, $12.46. That got us the plug, carburetor, 2 new gaskets, and air filter for in the carb, and everything. It's the whole kit. It's like, looked at the receipt, and I think shipping was free, and it was like $12.46 shipped to the door. But for whatever reason, that plate, I don't know where to set it, but anyway, the plate, I tried. Here it is. I took it all apart. You know, took the primer ball out, the plastic out, and there's a screen in there. Took the gasket off the back, completely flushed it, and get that gasket off without breaking it. It's kind of odd because I completely flushed it, and the fluid was coming out like it should. Blew it out, let it dry, threw it all back together, put it on. Still nothing. And took the other backing plate off the other mower. Didn't even do anything to it, just took it off, put it straight on this mower, and pumped right up. So I don't know what's up with that. So I'm gonna have to find another plate somewhere for the other mower, because it did run pretty good. It's been setting for probably 2 seasons, hasn't been started for a while. So that one will probably be next. But Chris is pretty stoked about it. He told me not to worry about the deck, because I was going to see if I can show you. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it, where the rust is down here on the bottom. Down in here, I was going to clean it up. Take that panel off, clean it all up, and hit it with some bed liner. Just keep the rust down, clean the deck up some. He ain't even worried about it. He's just so happy just to get one. He definitely can't afford a new one. The cheapest one he could find was almost $200, and it was one of them rinky-dink ones at Wally World. But anyway, that's it. It's running, and thanks for watching. I'm saying, don't throw them away. I mean, you can, like this one, it was fixed for less than $20 and a little bit of elbow grease. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you when we start on the next one.